Two members of the first all-women team from Africa scheduled to climb Mount Everest in the year 2020 are attempting to complete the South African 9 Peaks Challenge this month. They are set to cover hiking, vertical ascent and driving. It has been attempted by numerous teams and individuals since 1994, and over the years, the 9 Peaks has been challenged on a few occasions on behalf of various charitable causes, and most notably has been the twice-repeated 9 Peaks Challenge hosted by Meals on Wheels South Africa. This year, Alda Waddell and Tumi Mphahlele plan to make their mark starting on the 22nd of August and taking between 4 and 6 days to complete it. They now join us to tell us more about their upcoming journey. Ladies, a very good morning and welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Geez, man, what a gruesome expedition you guys are about to undertake. I'm going to start with you, Tumi. Take us through the different provinces that you'll be visiting.
It is all the 9 provinces. We're going to start in Limpopo. The highest peak there is called Iron Crown. And then we'll move on to Mpumalanga, which is the Berg. Okay. Then Gauteng, which is Nooitgedacht. And then, northwest, which is Nooitgedacht, and Gauteng is during Kloof, and then we move on to KwaZulu-Natal, Free State, all of the 9 peaks. We're talking Namahadi, Mafadi. We're also going to Northern Cape, Match Point. We're also going to Eastern Cape, Guaduma, and we're also going to Western Cape, which is Sivivixpoort.
So you'll be spending the same amount of time at each mountain range, or is it, does it solely depend on the terrain?
Yes, it depends on the terrain, but remember this is a record, so yes, we are trying to complete all of the 9 peaks at the fastest time we can. So the current record is around 4 or so days, but we'll probably do a little more than that.
Okay. Yeah. Now, Alda, what sparked your interest in this?
I think Tumi started the interest in this. I wasn't aware of it, and I think it's a great challenge. In preparation for Everest 2020 next year, the team of us, I think this teaches us endurance, keep going, perseverance, all of it. And I think being with Tumi and pushing each other, I think it's a great exercise to go through. Yeah,
I mean, from the amount of work you've covered already, how ready are you for Mount Everest? I mean, are you mentally prepared? Well, we know that you're physically prepared, but are you mentally prepared for this expedition?
I think it's an ongoing preparedness. You continuously have to prepare yourself mentally, physically. So we'll continue. We all have different programs. We all have different needs, and then we adjust according to that. Yep. But I think this 9 Peak is a good place to start for us as well.
Okay. Now, Tumi, you've successfully climbed 3 of the 7 global summits, Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Everest, and Mount Aconcagua. Just how ready are you mentally?
Mentally, as Alda was saying, it's a work in progress. But the fact that I have managed to summit 3 of the 7 summits gives me some level of confidence that says that I can achieve this if I set my mind to it. So, but it also gives a bit of understanding of what lies ahead. Yeah. But not all of the understanding. As you can imagine, Everest is much bigger. It will take much longer to get there. So yes, it helps to have been able to summit some of the highest peaks in the different continents. But going ahead, we know that it will take a lot more training. It will take a lot more focus. And so
in terms of the training, what really happens there? What does it entail?
Exactly what we are trying to do now. We are trying to build strength, we are trying to build endurance, we are trying to make sure that we are exposed to extreme weather, we are exposed to fatigue on the mountains. I mean, the challenges that we're going to go through on the 9 Peak Challenge is actually quite immense. They are not to be underestimated. So going through the 9 Peaks Challenge helps us actually build up for the Everest.
Right. You know, Alda, the fastest time by a mixed pair was set in October 2018 by Jurgens and Crystal Honeycomb in 4 days, 18 hours and 45 minutes. Just how have you prepared yourself to ensure that you beat this record?
So Tumi and I have done a lot of homework. We've done a lot of planning. We made sure that we scheduled how we drive, because the rules are very strict. It's only allowed Tumi and I to drive. Nobody else is allowed to be there. Okay. We obviously need to make sure that we stop and make sure that we don't waste any time when we do walk. Unfortunately, I'm not a runner, so we have to walk, not run. So Mphahlele is our big challenge, 12 hours up, 8 hours down, and then another 7 hours drive. So I think it's very careful planning, meticulous planning, knowing what to do and being very well prepared. Whatever we can put in the car, make sure it's in the car. You know, so that there's no wastage of time. We also said, Tumi and I, because we've got such a big challenge with Everest and we've got Mont Blanc in September coming up, we don't need any injuries. So if we can match 4 days, 19 hours, we'll be very happy. If we can beat it, we'll be ecstatic. But whatever we do, it will be the First Lady's fastest time.
Yeah. Now, Tumi, how can we follow your climbing process?
You can follow us on our Facebook challenge, or on our Facebook page. It's called @Everest 2020 SA. We also have Twitter. It's Everest 2020 SA. But what we're also trying to do, we're also trying to raise funds for the expedition at Everest. You can find a link at GoFundMe /2020 Everest SA.
Geez, man, in the spirit of Women's Month, I admire your bravery and your tenacity. All the best, ladies.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate your time. Hey, that was Alda Waddell and Tumi Mphahlele talking to us about the 9 Peaks Challenge, which is set to take place later this month. They are the first all-women team to take part in that challenge.